Hello and welcome to the Daily Mail for Saturday the 29th of July 2023. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. Today was match day. We played Fortuna Sittard, Zion Fleming's former club from the Netherlands, Eredivisie, and we lost 2-1. We had a penalty that got saved. They had a penalty that got saved, but then the rebound was here. Let's find out what happened. So Millwall edged out by Fortuna Sittard, the final pre-season fixture, and this is from millwallfc.co.uk, the club's official website. Millwall were defeated 2-1 by Fortuna Sittard at the Den. The Lions' final 23-24 pre-season friendly on Saturday afternoon. Tom Bradshaw gave the Lions a lead in South London, but Alan Halalovic equalised in first half stoppage time. Yeah, that was a bit of a killer. There was literally like 10 seconds left until half time. Before Tiani Noslin scored on a rebound after George Long had initially saved his penalty kick to put the visitors ahead. Garrett opted to play Kevin Nisbet and Bradshaw in attack for the visit of the Dutch side, whilst George Long started in goal, and new signings Joe Bryan and Casper Dinor also featured. After a quiet start in which Murray Wallace had the only half chance on goal, the Lions took the lead with 23 minutes on the clock as Danny McNamara broke away down the right hand side and crossed for an unmarked Bradshaw, who had the task of guiding the ball into the back of the net. Millwall pushed for more following the opener, but almost fell to an equaliser shortly after the half-hour mark as a header travelled towards goal and beat George Long. Nisbet, however, was well placed to hack away off the line. They're doing his defensive duty there, Kevin. 5 minutes from the break, a beautiful move from the Lions involving Joe Bryan, Bradshaw and Casper Dinor ended with the ball at the feet of the Belgian, but he struck wide from outside the area. Jake Cooper, Nisbet 3 times and then Bradshaw all had efforts to extend the lead, stopped by the Sittard defence and Ivor Pandor in goal, who did play very well, with Sittard then levelling in the first half stoppage time as a slick move was finished delightfully by Alilovic. Nisbet had the first effort of the second half, but flashed an attempt wide of the far post after creating space for himself inside the penalty area. With 52 minutes on the clock, the Lions were presented with a chance to put themselves back in front as Watmore was nudged to the ground, resulting in James Bell pointing to the spot. However, Nisbet stepped up and, despite striking a powerful penalty, was met by a smart stop from Pandor. A mistake from Long then almost let Tiani Noslin have a clear run on goal, but the Sittard man fluffed his lines. Although Noslin was to get his own back, as after he was brought down inside the box by a combination of Sean Hutchinson and Jake Cooper. It was Jake Cooper who put him down, or was it? Sean Hutchinson didn't deal with the ball in the air, he lost it, and he turned one way, but the ball, and I don't know if it was windy. Was it windy there? It's a little bit windy today, I don't know. Maybe it's the new balls. Are we using the new EFL balls? There's the ball there, Puma ball. Maybe it's the new balls. And he lost the ball. So he turned one way, but it's going behind him. So he turns the other way. And it just hits his head and rolls forwards. It lands luckily for the guy, and the guy's away. And then as he's getting past him, they're running back to him. And then Jake Cooper pulls on his shirt and pulls down. It's the kind of stuff that happens to Jake Cooper all the time and nothing happens. But when Jake Cooper does it to another player, instant penalty. He brushed himself off to score Fortuna's second on the rebound, following an expert save from Long. Zion Fleming had the chance to perform the perfect ending to the match in the 90th minute, but he found his goal-bound free kick punched away by the impressive Pandor. Yeah, very impressive. How much does he cost? Any chance of signing him? With pre-season now at an end, attention's quickly turned to next Saturday's Sky Bet Championship opener at Middlesbrough. Match stats. The team was Long, McNamara, Wallace, Hutchinson, Cooper, Nisbet, B. Mitchell, Bradshaw, Bryan, Watmore, Dinor. The subs that we used, Leonard on 62 minutes for McNamara, Harding on 84 minutes for Hutchinson, Essay on 62 minutes for Nisbet, Savile on 62 minutes for Brian. Imaku on 84th minute for Watmore. And Fleming on 62 minutes for Denor. Yeah, Fleming came on as a sub. He didn't start the game. The subs not used. Biakovsky, George Evans, Vogel, Sammer, A. Mitchell, Adam Malachi. So we've got A. Mitchell, we've got B. Mitchell. If we get another Mitchell, let's get someone whose name begins with C, and we'll have ABC Mitchell. So there you go. So you can see they scored on the 73rd minute. So 10 minutes after we made 4 changes, the changes, I don't think they helped. I think they kind of they didn't really have a positive impact. I think Fortuna Sittard, I'm not sure, but I did watch the game. I think they kept their subs to a minimum. I think they were like 2 or 3. They treated it like a proper game. So they had their players on, keep playing, and we brought our players on for 4 changes on the hour mark, and that kind of undercut what we were trying to do. I think. Yeah, attendance 3,011, 300 away fans. There you go. How's that? Yeah. So final defeat. So it means, what does this mean? Does it mean anything? Does it mean anything? It means we've only failed to score in one of our pre-season games. That was a behind closed doors one. See, we don't have a team from that. We only have the result, which was 1-0 to Bournemouth. So we failed to score against Bournemouth, Premier League team. We scored against Fortuna Sittard. We scored in all the other friendly games as well. So, but we've conceded. Did we? We kept a clean sheet against Gillingham. Kept a clean sheet against Sutton United. Obviously didn't against Fortuna Sittard. The Bromley game we conceded a goal against Bromley. Yeah. So what is it? Plus Fortuna Sittard. So we lost to them. We lost to Bournemouth. So the 2 teams from leagues above the level of the Championship. I think you can say the Eredivisie is probably above the level of the Championship. We lost to those teams. Does that mean anything? Because a lot of people say the Championship is its own thing. It's nothing like the Premier League, and a lot of teams that, when they come down from the Premier League, they have to completely rebuild their squad, because the type of squad you need for the Premier League and the type of squad you need for the Championship, they're completely different. So does this mean anything in terms of Championship football for us next week against Middlesbrough? I don't know. Not too sure. But we've seen some good things. We've seen some bad things. And now we just have to wait and see. We can all guess and presume and make judgments, but until we play Middlesbrough next Saturday on the 5th of August, it's doesn't really mean anything, does it? Doesn't really mean anything. It's the 90 minutes next week that means something. So here we go. Still on millfc.co.uk. Gonna look at some pictures from the game. And why not? Because they do look good, don't they? There's Billy Mitchell there, B Mitchell. That is Tom Bradshaw scoring now. You can see him there. Yep. There he is celebrating with Casper Denor. Danny McNamara with the assist. Wearing something inside his thigh. So the strain story was true, it seems. That's another thing to take away from pre-season. We haven't really lost anyone major, have we? We lost Honeyman. He's out for like a month or 2. No massive injuries yet. Obviously, a few players with knocks, but that's to be expected. Like they always got knocks. There's Danny McNamara there getting stuck in. Don't want more. Been having double teamed up on. Is this the penalty? Is this Nisbet saying I'm taking the penalty? Bradshaw saying no, I'm taking it. It's Cooper there. Saville. So this is late in the game. You've got Saville and Mackley there. Let's have a look at that. Go back. Look at Saville's legs. Look at Saville. Look at the muscles on Saville's legs. Holy moly. And Joe Bryan there. Kevin Nisbet. Essay. Fleming. Hutchinson. Zion Fleming. And we're back to the beginning. So there you go. Moving on to this post-match comments from the manager. What do you think he had to say? This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk, the South London Press's online website. Millwall boss on Fortuna Sittard loss. That rhymes. And the positives he can take from the pre-season programme. Millwall manager Gary Rowett was able to take pluses out of the club's pre-season programme despite signing off with a 2-1 defeat to Fortuna Sittard at Den. Tom Bradshaw put the Lions in front in the first half, converting Danny McNamara's pass. Yeah, we've read all that. I'm going to skip that next paragraph and jump straight to Rowett said, "Oh, it was very different to the Charlton game. There was less atmosphere in the stadium, so it didn't feel quite so much of a game. Nevertheless, it was still a good workout. They moved the ball quite well and gave you a different test, tactically and technically off the ball. In the first half, we worked our shape quite well. The teams, when we turned the ball over and got into good areas, and we probably should have come in at half time 2 or 3 goals up." Again, is that a problem? This was a problem from last season. What was it, the whole game at the end of the season? We created so many chances, and the players were just shooting wide, shooting over, shooting at the goalkeeper. I thought we fixed that, getting a clinical finisher in Kevin Nisbet. So we're still creating chances and we're not scoring. Obviously, if it's all on Nisbet, he's not going to be doing it. He can't do it all on his own. We were a little wasteful in our finishing. The goal was a good one. Bradders ends up switching play, which is what you've got to do against the 4 in the back and open spaces. Danny makes a good run and the ball's cut back to Bradders for a really good finish. Bradders, Nizzy and Dunk, they look quite good as a front three. They cause problems here. Some of those pictures. I gave Casper a chance to play with Billy this time to give him an opportunity to build some kind of relationship with him. When we were calm on the ball and played through the lines quickly, we mixed the game up quite well and we got into some good areas. The goal comes from probably a poor bit of defending. It's a great finish, but we should play with a bit more aggression and intensity. We go in at 1-1 in the second half. We get the penalty through some more good play and probably should have gone 2-1 up. The keeper makes an excellent save, and after that, the game fizzled out. And that was a disappointment. We made a lot of changes, and I'm not blaming the players that came on the pitch. That's what I said. The changes changed the game. We changed formation to try and get on the front foot a little bit more, but we kind of went into let's just get through the last 30 minutes mode. And that was the disappointment. I wanted to see a little more intensity and energy the way we play. Exactly. When you bring on 4 players, you expect them, like they've got half an hour, you expect them to go hard for half an hour. They don't have to last 90 minutes. Like, come on. You're coming on as a sub, run, hard, fight for the ball. You've got 30 minutes. Let's go. Do something. But yeah. But I'm also realistic to know these games can be hard to inject it into yourself. The positives are that we've scored a good few goals in pre-season. Virtually, that's what I just said. I haven't read this before. I didn't read this. I don't have time to read them before I do it. He's literally saying what I've just said. Pretty much been in scoring and some good partnerships are building. It's only George Honeyman who's injured. I'd love to go and win the last 3 or 4 games and look incredible so everyone thinks you're going to get promoted. But the reality is it doesn't quite happen like that in pre-season. We've got hard work this week. I've told the players they better be ready for Monday. We need to get a little more out of it than we did in the game today. And be ready for Middlesbrough. I'm sure we will be. So Gary, exactly. I swear to you, I haven't looked at this. I didn't listen to. I think this is taken from the interview that he gave on Millwall TV. I haven't listened to that. He literally said we've scored in all of our games. We've only got 1 injury, and that's George Honeyman. That's literally what I just said. So yeah, and he literally just said when they brought the players on, it kind of made the game a bit weird, and we ended up losing. So yeah, Gary Rowett, great minds think alike, eh? And more. Why did Zion Fleming not start? Zion, Ion in the Lion in Zion, Zion. Millwall manager explains surprise Zion Fleming selection decision against Fortuna Sittard. The midfielder was benched for the game against his former club. What was that all about? Tell us, Gary. What's going on? So this is from southernnews.co.uk. Gary Rowett has explained why he left Fleming on the bench for this afternoon's friendly against Fortuna Sittard. Some eyebrows were raised among fans of Fleming not being among the starting lineup despite the game being against his former club. But Rowett said, I left Watmore out last week because he's done a lot of work and he's not had his type of pre-season where he's managed to get through all of it and be in such a good shape. I felt with Zion, it's probably a good one to just start Duncan and bring Zion on later. But we know what a good player he is. He scored 15 goals for us last season. I never felt today was going to be an opportunity to just go and pick the team that starts next week. I think sometimes you don't know what you don't know want to do that. You don't what? I think sometimes you don't know want to do that completely either. I think sometimes you don't want to do that completely either, because it gives the other team a good opportunity to see what you're going to do. So we just mixed it up a little bit today, and we'll have some big decisions to make during the week. Fleming, 24, came on in the second half and forced a save out of Fortuna keeper Ivor Pandor late on from a free kick. Fortuna fans sang the name of their former midfielder throughout the game. More. Here we go. This is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Adomo Maka's performances for Millwall in pre-season set to have transfer window impact. Adomo Maka's performances in pre-season looks set to ensure that he will stay with Millwall at least for the first part of the championship season. The Republic of Ireland under-21 international signed in January for Shamrock Rovers with injuries disrupting his initial impact. When Maku came off the bench to score the equaliser in Tuesday's 2-2 draw against Charlton, then caught the eye again in today's 2-1 defeat to Fortuna Sittard at Den. Rowett said, at the start of the season, pre-season, we probably had 2 or 3 good loan inquiries from league clubs. And there was that thought of whether we let him go out and experience 6 months of football, which will be really valuable for him. What we would say is he's done himself no harm with these performances. I spoke to the players in there and said it shouldn't really be a Domo coming on and trying to inject something into the game. But he's done that. He's got pace, he's directing. It's not always going to work when you're going at people, but he certainly looks like he's going to make things happen. If you can do it against Charlton and against a top-flight Dutch team in Fortuna today, why can't you do it in the league? And that's the questions he's posed us. He's done it because he's earned the right for his performances. While I'm also aware that we have to think how does that look through the season for him and how much game time that's going to equate to, but I also think he's a good option. At the moment, he's certainly giving me food for thought. As we stand, he'll definitely be in our plans. Exactly, definitely be in our plans. So he's a first-team squad player. Looks like set to come off the bench. I think he will almost certainly start against Reading in the League Cup game for his first Millwall start, probably SA as well. Now, next season, this season coming up, or it's this season now, isn't it? They've changed it to 9 subs. It's still the same amount, 5. You can have 5 players, but on 3 occasions. But it's instead of from 7, it's from 9. What does that mean? I'm sure a lot of clubs they'll put a youth player in and whatnot. We don't really have it. It probably means that George Evans will be in every matchday squad because that's the way it goes. What I think is going to happen, and I imagine that Gary Rowett has got the balls to do this, is 2 goalkeepers on the bench. Either that or he won't even fulfill the 9 players on the subs bench. He'll go with 8, 7 or 8. He won't even bother with 9. Why? They always travel with a third goalkeeper. It was Ryan Sandford, it was Joe Wright, Connell Truman. to take part in training, and just in case, because I think there's like an issue with Bart. They're not sure whether he's fit enough. So just in case he had a problem, they came with a third goalkeeper. Obviously, they never used him. So what normally would happen that the guy would be there, and then as soon as the match starts, like you can't change. You name your team an hour before, but you can always change them if someone gets injured in the warm up. As soon as the match kicks off, that's it. And then the guy he usually stays and go home. So what I think now is Gary Rowett will name 2 goalkeepers on the bench. And why not? It's a bit stupid to do that, but I think if anyone will do it and not care what other people think, Gary Rowett will be the one to do that. If you're going to bring a goalkeeper anyway, if you're going to bring 3 goalkeepers, why not put him on the bench? And we know Gary Rowett's got this very fixed system where the first team squad is the first team squad and the under 21s are the under 21s. He's not just going to have a random under 21 player on the bench for the sake of it. So he's either going to go with 7 or 8. If that's all we've got, there are injuries. He's not going to add a random 9th player. Just pick one from the under 21s. Or he's going to put 2 goalkeepers on the bench. So that is my prediction. Look out for this. I'm not too sure. Gary Rowett's watching this. Maybe he might change his mind. If he wasn't thinking about it, he might start doing it now. Now, moving on to what we're moving on to. We're moving on to this. From southwarknews.co.uk. This was put up this morning. Casper De Norre, they spoke to him. It was clear they really wanted me. Casper De Norre on how Millwall persuaded him to join. The Lions' new man gave an insight into his transfer and what type of player he is. Casper De Norre has revealed that Millwall's dogged pursuit was the key to tempting him to come over to England. The 26-year-old midfielder is looking to make his mark in the Championship after signing from Hood Heavily Leuven last week. Life at the Den will likely be very different for the star as he moves on from his native Belgium for the first time in his football career, but De Norre believes the moment was right for him to make the move and said that the Lions' interest was key to swaying him. He told News at Den, "Well, it was just the right moment. The interest came very quickly. It was clear that Millwall really wanted me. And that gives you a lot of confidence as a player when the club makes all the effort to get you. It speaks for itself. As a player, you want to pay back that trust. It's a new challenge for me, a new division, a new country. So I think it will be a great experience for me, and we'll see how it goes." Before Hood Heavily Leuven, De Norre played for Belgian club Genk between 2019 and 2021, winning the league in his first season. During this time, he was also pitted against the likes of Liverpool and Napoli in the Champions League group stages during the 19th season. De Norre believes he has a mix of skills and can help infiltrate opposition teams. He added, "Well, I'm a midfielder who can do a little bit of everything. I'm hard-working, I have good passing range. I can drop low and get the ball and start the build. But also I can play higher up the pitch and be the link for the defence in the attack. I can play defensive midfield, but also box-to-box infiltrating midfields. I can do both." Millwall boss Gary Rowett is keen not to put pressure on De Norre and wants to give him time to adjust. He said, "We've got a very good group that makes it quite easy to fit in, and ultimately it's going to be down to him getting up to speed as quickly as he can. But he's a very good footballer, and if that just happens quickly, great. And if that takes a little bit more time, then we'll be there to support him because he's played with us for a long time. He doesn't have to make an instant impact, but we believe he can." I think so far, like obviously he does need some time to settle in. They threw him straight in the Charlton game. He must not have been training that much with the team. Passes going awry and whatnot. But he was getting stuck in and tackling, so. And I think there was one pass today, and they're like, "Oh god." That was. He tried to quick, like, one touch pass, and it just didn't go anywhere near a Millwall player. So yeah, I was thinking, like, do they do eye tests as part of the medical after seeing that pass today? And maybe they should take him down to Specsavers. Do they have Specsavers in Belgium? Probably not. Probably called something else, isn't it? Yeah. Obviously, he needs some time to adjust, but he's not. he hasn't hit the ground running yet. But we'll see. Like I said, it's pre-season. But when you see Billy Mitchell come on against Charlton and what he did, right? Okay, this is what we were missing. So I don't know what Denor's going to be doing, what role he's going to be doing. But yeah, wish him all the best. Hopefully he can get settled in and start playing some sexy football. Moving on to this, finishing up with this match report from the under 21s Friday at Dulwich Hamlet. They were beaten at Dulwich Hamlet. Millwall under 21s were defeated 3-1 by Dulwich Hamlet at Champion Hill Friday night. The Lions, managed by Kevin Nugent, fell behind in the first minute in South London, but regained their composure to equalise through Shamar Lawson's classy strike in the second half. Hamlet, however, netted twice late on to win the game. Millwall under 21's 23-24 Professional Development League fixture will be released in due course. Yes, and before then, they have an away game next Saturday while the first team's at Middlesbrough. They will be at Hornchurch in East London. Well, we've got some pictures from that game. Let's just roll through these. Same old, same old. There's Tyler Berry there getting some more game time. Even though the clickbait websites were telling us he's off to Oxford. Finley Cotton, Shamar Lawson, Frankie Vid, George Walker, Carl Smith. Hopefully I got them right. I always mix those two up. Seb Droz, Shamar Lawson. Again with Tyler Berry, Tom Leahy, Abdul Malik. Obviously, they played Dulwich Hamlet last season in the pre-season friendly. They beat them 3-1, and the season's gone. Dulwich Hamlet got relegated. So I don't know if this means Dulwich Hamlet got bringing in a lot of decent players. They've got the new manager. So it might be that Dulwich Hamlet are actually quite good now. And they might be contenders to win or do something in the league that they're in this season. So we'll see. Yeah, and on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.